Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. That is Arabic for peace be with you all. I'm Imran and today we have an iPhone 11 which has some sort of short on the motherboard. We don't know yet. I've just opened it up and the customer brought it in with a broken screen and it wasn't powering up. So I went ahead and opened it up and connected the power supply, and it was showing 800 milliamp power without pressing the power button, which means that there is some sort of short on the board. We don't know yet what it is that is causing the problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect just to demonstrate that there is a short, because I can't show you the power supply screen at the moment. So just to show you guys that there is definitely a short here, I'm going to connect it to the power supply, and as you guys can see, we have the short over here. I don't know if you guys, you can't see. Let me turn on the microscope and I will show you under the microscope that it is indeed short. Alright, so we have our microscope camera set up and working and recording in our case. So let me put some freeze spray on it again and let me show you where the short is. So I'm going to connect the power supply now. As soon as I connect it, you can see the heat coming out of the motherboard. Here we go again. So something is causing a short over here, and I assume that it is not the connector which is causing the short. It's something on the other side of the motherboard, and to access that we have to disassemble the sandwich. So something is causing the short over here. So let's go ahead and get our 18 plate out. Here we go. Let's connect it to the power switch. iPhone 11 is on. There we go. Power. So we have power now. So with our sandwich separated, we can now take a look under the microscope to see what it is that is probably causing the short over here, and I can already see that what it is. So remember, we had the heat coming out of this area, and right behind it is that chip, which is broken into many pieces. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but we have one crack over here and another from here to here, and then from here to here another one. So I'm pretty sure that this is what is causing the short. As you guys can see now, the crack here, over here, and then one big line over here. So this is the first time I'm opening the iPhone 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for that chip to see what it is actually for. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go ahead, quickly open up my browser, go to Google and fill in the chip number, which is STB6, so STB601 AON or A0N. So it says it is from ST Microelectronics. It's a power management IC. We don't know what it is managing in iPhone 11 yet, but let's go ahead and find out a little bit more about this. Yep. So this chip looks like it is responsible for wide angle camera power system. So it has like 1v8 lines for the camera, 1v8 switches, clock for the camera, shutdown signal and all. So this is what it does, or at least that's the information that I have. So let's go ahead and get it off the motherboard. We have it removed, and the direction or the alignment is top right corner. As you guys can see, the dot, it's on the top right corner. Let's clean up the pads. All right, so the pads are all cleaned up. So we don't have a new chip because it is not available in the market. So you can see it just broke as soon as I put a little bit pressure on the side here. So how the hell does a chip broke from the inside? There is no impact on the board. Well, there's been an impact, but this is Apple. So what we're going to do now is we're going to harvest that chip from another board that we have lying around somewhere. If I can find it now. There we go. Our donor motherboard. So as you guys can see, this is perfect looking motherboard, and it is just, well, it is for spares and repairs. So we're gonna get our heating module back on, hot plate, heater, whatever you want to call it. Put our donor board on. That's on there. Turn it on and wait for at least 2 minutes. For the pads to get to the melting point, and then we're going to separate it. There we have our donor board separated. Let's put it back where it belongs. And on the donor board we can see that that chip is perfectly fine. No problems there at all. So without further wasting our time, let's go ahead and remove that chip off of that board. Alright, that's off of the board. Let's put it away so that we don't put the chip back onto the same board. No mistakes here. Okie dokie. So that's all cleaned up. Nice and shiny. Picture for Instagram. Now, the problem is we will have to reball that chip, and we don't have an iPhone 11 stencil yet. Actually we do. So I did order these stencils, and as you can see, it's fairly new, haven't been used before. As I said, that this is the first iPhone 11 that I have opened up. It's probably gonna be late depending on when I upload the video, but by the time you guys see this, I might have done quite a few of these. So, but for now, right now, this is the first one. So we have our stencil here. Now, which one is the right? I think that's the one. Oh, not this one. This one. I think it is this one. Yeah, this is the one. Let's get our solder paste. Apply it gently. Yeah. Too much flux in there, which means that this reball is probably, I might have to do it again, but let's try and do it without so let's try and do it without doing it twice. There we go. Nice looking shiny balls. What are you doing here? You breaking piece of shit. Huh. Oh, nice and shiny. enough a bit. So there we have our chip reballed. Nice and equal balls there. So let's go ahead and put it on to our patient board. What are you doing there? So we remember the orientation was top right. So this is our orientation here. Let's just take a picture of it for Instagram. We have our picture. Alrighty, so we have our motherboard placed in a holder. Time to install the chip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold that chip down in place using my tweezers so that it doesn't move, just like that. And from there it should be okay. Just for a few seconds, and then I'm gonna take away the heat, apply some flux, not too much of it. Flux is there. Now we're gonna go ahead and reflow it on its place. We should see a little swing there. That means it is in place. You can test this by simply touching it on the side. There we go. We have our wide angle camera chip installed. That done, I've taken out the board off the board holder, and I'm gonna take a quick look at the balls to make sure and to see if I have to reball the middle layer before putting it back together. So looks like there is no need to reball it. So what I'm going to do is, yep, Okay, I'm not going to re-wall the middle. I'm going to put on the motherboard and it should fit perfectly fine. But before we go ahead and do that, we throw that broken chip away and let's connect our power supply back again, just to make sure that we have gotten rid of the short and that it is not a problem anymore. So yeah, you guys can't see it, so you have to trust me on that. I'm gonna go ahead now and put them back together. So to do that, I have to take off, that's the old or the donor motherboard. There we have the patient setup. Looks nice. We're gonna give it 2 minutes. And after that we should be okay to put it back into the chassis and test it. There we go, looks good. Time to put it back into the phone. Okay, I'm gonna have to put a new screen on it, but for the sake of this test, I am just going to go ahead and connect the older screen on. And test it to see if we have power. it indeed came up with a display. I don't know if you guys can see some lines over here, but the display is too badly broken, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can connect a new screen on for you guys, just to show you that everything is okay now. So we have the new screen here for iPhone 11, and as you guys can see, we have the display. Yeah, it is showing unable to detect Face ID because I have not connected the Face ID yet, but let's just go ahead, and it's asking for a password. Let me enter the password. I don't want you to see. And here we go. So we have the display. Battery messages, Face ID. Everything seems to be working fine. Let's try the cameras. So we have the back camera working, and then we'll change it to the front cam, and as you guys can see, the front camera is working. You can see my Note 10 Plus, which I'm using for this recording, and here we go. Back again, portrait, and the portrait is working as well on the front camera, and the portrait's working on the back camera as well. So that was it. We have our phone fixed. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I hope you guys learned something, and I will see you in the next video.